It hasn't taken long for our politicians to go back to their normal behavior after all that sweet talk they were giving us during the elections. Like a guy who chases you, buys you flowers, at times takes you to KFC, and as soon as he's gotten what he wants, he's telling you, you know what, I'm not gay after all. I was just experimenting. I'm over it now. I'm over. And then you never hear from them again. It's official that it's a one-night stand. Gonzo, you'll never see that guy again. But don't worry, South Africa, our politicians will be back in 5 years' time when they need us. For instance, the Lwandle residents in the Western Cape were promised radical transformation. But little did they know, radical transformation meant their places were going to be knocked down into rubble.
Their shacks have been demolished over the past 2 days after the South African National Road Agency obtained an eviction order to have them removed.
Sanral's own version of extreme home makeover. No, guys, who is responsible for this? Is it the Western Cape provincial government run by the DA? Come on!
The DA-led City of Cape Town says it has nothing to do with the evictions since the land does not belong to it.
Okay. Is it Sanral?
We acknowledge that Sanral is the landowner, but the provision of services is a municipal responsibility.
Okay, nobody wants to take the blame. You know what we'll do? Let's just blame Humpty Dumpty. That's it, Humpty Dumpty, you did it, you are guilty, you must fix it. Then, there's this guy. This guy here, his name is Senzeni Zogwana. He's the newly appointed Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fishery with Bheki Cele as his deputy. Now, Mr. Zogwana is the chairperson of the South African Communist Party. He's a long-serving member of the National Union of Mine Workers. He rose through the ranks of NUM to become its president. You'd think a man like this would know something about labor laws and the rights of the workers. You are wrong, South Africa. You are wrong.
Ndabambi gets paid a paltry 800 Rand a month for working 7 days a week, looking after the former NUM's boss's cattle.
That's like just over 1 Rand an hour if the guy doesn't sleep, of course, which is impossible. The minimum wage is 104 Rand a day. You know what? There has to be an explanation for this.
People forget that Comrade Zogwana is a mine worker who is not paid an executive salary, who is earning a mine worker's salary.
Well, the thing is, Blade, he's not really a mine worker. He's a union boss. He doesn't earn the same amount of money as mine workers. Blade, we were not born yesterday. Try again, Chief.
He himself is actually very happy now that he's a minister. He can be able to actually pay that young man better.
Okay, Blade, I see you now. I see you. So now that he's earning 1.8 million Rand a year, he is going to comply with paying his employees minimum wage. Okay, Blade. But when the mine bosses say they will increase wages if their profits increase, it's not okay. But when your friends do it, it's okay. Okay. Maybe we're giving this Zogwana guy a tough time about this thing. But what is the general consensus about him being the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fishery?
But also himself as a Minister of Agriculture, man, come on, I don't think he's got anything to offer. The man is challenged. The man is a disaster, he's a walking disaster. Zogwana took a platform and said, we are going to march naked, and we're like, how? No. And we don't want to see those things.
Yo, Juju, you got jokes for days. So Zogwana wanted to march naked for Jacob Zuma, and he was rewarded by being a minister. Okay, we see you. But when, not Juju, you said you would kill for Zuma, and you got kicked out. The thing is with you seem to be a hypocrite as well. You were calling on MPs to use public services, but then you insisted on sending your son to a private school. Why? Because you are also a hypocrite. Yeah. But I understand, Juju, who wants a stupid child. After all, when you have also failed woodwork at a government school, why would you also send your child there? Doesn't make sense. I hear you, Juju. I'm with you. But what I want to know is, do we even have any honest politicians out there? Politicians who are not hypocrites. Politicians who stick with their word. Maybe there's one. We went out to look for one. We found one.
News that moves. ENCA.com.